Alright guys, so in this video, I'm going to explain to you why I'm frustrated that the Red Sox did not sign Pete Alonso, and I'm also going to explain to you guys why they didn't. But I want to start off with my perspective as a Red Sox fan my entire life. I just can't wrap my mind around the fact that this deal was not done. Pete Alonso wanted to be in Boston. His wife grew up in the area. They just had their first child. He even was willing to take a little bit less to come to Boston, but the Red Sox, they just weren't even in the same ballpark as the Orioles when it came to bringing in Pete. And it makes no sense because what was the issue for us last season? It's the fact that they didn't have somebody who could hit the ball out of the park. They didn't have a right-handed power hitter. They didn't have a power hitter in general, but especially a righty that matched like Pete Alonso. It's not often guys like that become available. The Red Sox had to get this done. They also don't have a first baseman. Tristan Casas got injured last season. Even when he played, was pretty bad. I mean, his season is in jeopardy because we don't even know what he's going to be. It's kind of the problem here. So Alonso would have fixed everything. The other issue for the Red Sox is going to be that number 2 starter, but I'll get into that in another video because this is strictly just about Pete Alonso and Alex Bregman. So now that you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from, I don't think there's very many Red Sox fans that didn't want Pete. It was pretty much like 95% of them did. And then the 5 who didn't was because they wanted Kyle Schwarber. Like, it's kind of the thing here, right? So in terms of why the Red Sox did not bring in Alonso, and I know people are going to hate this, but it's the truth. It's that they did not want to pay both Bregman and Alonso. Now, they did have discussions about doing that, but ultimately they didn't want to spend their payroll on that because Pete Alonso wanted $30 million a year. Alex Bregman, I have no idea what he's going to get, but it's not going to be little. I mean, it's Alex Bregman. This is a World Series champion, a guy who, yeah, he didn't have the same second half, but he still was a very good player. Elite glove at third, good leadership, gets on base. I mean, we know Bregman's a good player, but in terms of what the Red Sox needed, that's just power. Pete Alonso, somebody to hit the ball at Fenway, to drive in runners. That absolutely rakes, and that's what Alonso does, and the Red Sox weren't able to get it done. And the problem for the Red Sox, in my opinion, is not that they didn't get Pete Alonso. The problem for the Red Sox is that they got outbidded by a smaller market, and even more importantly than that, is they got outbidded by a team in the division, an aggressive Orioles team that just like a couple of seasons ago was a World Series level roster, and now they're starting to get back to that. So the Red Sox have to deal with the Yankees, the Blue Jays, who might be the best team in the AL next season like they were this year, and now the Orioles, who look even better. I mean, this is very, very bad news for the Boston Red Sox. Like, this should absolutely terrify fans. And what makes it even worse is that I don't think the Red Sox have a plan. Like, I can tell you guys who they're looking at, but none of them even compare to Pete Alonso. I'm going to be honest, I don't have the knowledge to kind of speak on some of them, so I'll be brief with it. But this is who, and pull up my report. Okay, so the Red Sox are looking at Eugenio Suarez. I know about him, third baseman, who might move over to first, who rakes. I think he could work. You've got Okamoto, and you've got Murakami, some Japanese guys who hit well. But we don't know how they're going to perform in the big leagues. We also kind of don't know how much they're going to ask for, and they're going to have flaws. Like, we know who Pete Alonso is. This is a guy that is going to hit 40 home runs, driving 120 plus runs, and he plays first base. Not well, but at least he has a glove, unlike Kyle Schwarber. And he's a righty to pair with our lefty heavy lineup. To me, it's a slap in the face because I don't think there's a better fan base than the Boston Red Sox. I'm biased. I'm a Red Sox fan. I cover the Red Sox. I'm trying to do this for a living. I have been for what? I don't know. I'm not going to bore you guys with the details, but basically my entire life. Like, I went to college to literally be a journalist for the Red Sox, and kind of here we are. Man, it's embarrassing. There's no other way around it. I spoke to someone who has a lot of connections with the Red Sox, and he told me the same thing. He actually used that same word. He said it's embarrassing, and I feel the same way. I mean, you watch every single game. You know that the Red Sox are a couple pieces away from being able to compete with anyone in baseball, including the Dodgers. I mean, the Blue Jays took the Dodgers to 7 games. Why the hell can't the Red Sox with Pete Alonso, Alec Bregman, and I'm not going to say Joe Ryan, but Sonny Gray and Oviedo and maybe another arm? I mean, anything's possible at that point, but the Red Sox aren't making it, they're not making it apparent enough that they're trying to win. If the Red Sox were trying to win, they would have overpaid, at least overpaid the Orioles, not in general. I don't think there's a such thing as overpaying for Pete Alonso. This guy absolutely mashes, but they would have outbidded the Orioles. because I pretty much promised you if the Red Sox had even offered the same as the Orioles, that Pete would have went to Boston because his wife, of course, grew up in the area and they just had their first child. And like it just seemed pretty much inevitable that Pete Alonso would be a Red Sox, and ultimately it didn't happen. The options behind Pete are just significantly worse. There's question marks. There's no question mark with Pete Alonso. Everyone knows he's going to be able to hit. The other three guys, I can't say the same. I just simply can't. And another thing as well is if the Red Sox end up pivoting and they bring in Bregman, which to this point isn't a guarantee, because the Red Sox did say yesterday that they're completely comfortable with Marcelo Meyer starting third base on opening day. But the thing is if they bring in Ketel Marte, who I want, like in a perfect world, I think the Red Sox would bring in Marte because they have the most pitching to give up. They have the best offer. It's just a matter of do they kind of want to pull the trigger on that. Now, I have heard that the Red Sox have put together the best prospect package, and that's what the Diamondbacks are looking for. We'll kind of see if that happens. But now, well, where the hell does Marcelo Meyer play? Because if you bring in Marte, you can't exactly bring in Bregman because Bregman's at third, Marte's at second, and Story opted in. If Story opted out, okay, well, go ahead and let's just put Meyer at shortstop and do that. But Story's here. And that's not a bad thing. Trevor Story was awesome last season. He was easily one of our best players. Stole every single base, hit for decent power. I think Story actually led us in home runs. Correct me if I'm wrong here. And I know that I'm Red Sox Palace. I should know everything. But, guys, I cover like 10 teams, so kind of bear with me here. But in terms of the Red Sox, yeah, I just don't see them bringing in Marte if they had to give up Meyer. But even if they do get him, let's just say, okay, they put in Peyton Tolley and maybe they even put in Willie Abreu. That's a lot for a 38-year-old Ketel Marte, but I think it's worth it. But Meyer doesn't have a spot to play. Could you DH Marte? I mean, yeah. You could basically erase Marte in the field, even though he's a good defender, and just have him focus on hitting and then put Meyer at second. I don't think the Red Sox would give up a bag, though, for a DH. Like, there's just no way that's happening. I just don't see a world. So that's why it becomes confusing. It's just absolutely confusing to me what the Red Sox are trying to do. And a good offseason, I don't really care what anyone says. Like, a good offseason would not be Sonny Gray getting Johan Oviedo, re-signing Bregman, and then bringing in Eugenio Suarez. Like, that is not a good enough offseason. The Red Sox, are they better than last season? I mean, yeah, but by how much is kind of the thing here. Given the fact that the Orioles and Blue Jays have gotten significantly better, I don't think the Red Sox are going to be able to compete in this division, yet alone in the AL, and yet alone for a World Series. Time will tell. Maybe as soon as I click off this video, Ketel Marte will be a Red Sox. But again, Marte now becomes an issue. Marte, Alonso, and then Meyer at third would have been absolutely flawless, but that's now off of the table. So yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts in the video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll try to get back to as many of you as I can. My bad about that, guys. My mic disconnected. But yeah, leave a comment or message me on Discord. Do not DM me. I have hundreds. It's just way too difficult to get to all of them. Yeah, all right.